while on your top secret spy missions, you'll need a reliable and minimal camera to watch your targets, even while sitting in your home drinking a cup of hot chocolate. And I have the perfect one for you wannabe spies out there, or if you're a boring person, you'll probably use it to watch your car. Nevertheless, I'm still reviewing the Colacam miniature camera in 2021. I'll be sectioning this video into 4 parts: specs, pros, cons, and then my overall conclusion of this device. And this device is priced at £65. So starting off with the first spec about this device has a 2 megapixel HD camera, so all the images that you'll be getting will be a little bit choppy.
Testing 1 2 1 2. This is the audio quality and also the camera quality.
It has night vision.
I am now testing night mode.
It picks up audio. It has 4 hours of battery life and it takes 2 hours to charge. Appalling, I know. And with a 64GB SD card, you have 6 to 7 days of recording, and so you guys can use that information if you want to have more storage or less storage. But nevertheless, let's get into the beefy part of the review, starting off with the positives. The first positive, the image quality is actually surprisingly clear. Usually images from small cameras like this have really bad camera quality, but this is actually surprisingly better than most alternatives out there, which is also great considering the price. Also, you can very easily differentiate faces in dark and light environments, which is just an added bonus because not all miniature cameras even have this. The next positive is the fact that the design and build quality of this product is very rugged, it's very durable, it feels high quality. It doesn't feel like it's gonna drop from a light drop just down the stairs or something like that. I feel like it'll survive this. Obviously, I'm not gonna test it because it doesn't say how durable it is, but I will say that if you drop it from about hip height, depending on how tall you are, you shouldn't really have a problem and you'll be able to pick it up without any damages or anything like that. And I wouldn't say that you would even need to worry about the camera either, since it seems pretty scratch resistant. It seems very durable, so I don't think it's going to get scratched anytime soon if you do unfortunately drop it. But I would just say try not to be rough with it, especially since it doesn't have an actual protective case or anything like that. Just try your best to be as gentle as possible. The next positive is that once it's all up and running and all set up, you can easily access any features that you would need with this device, but since they're all on the app, they're all in one place, you won't really need to fiddle with the camera as much as other devices where you need to take out the SD card and download all the information or anything like that. It's all transferred over Bluetooth. You can press when you want to start recording, when you want to stop recording. You can do all of these features on the inbuilt app, and you can also turn it on to night mode. Any other features that you actually require, you can do that all on the app, which is pretty cool. And it actually has some features that I've never heard of before, so it's pretty cool and an added bonus because not all miniature cameras even have apps, so it's a nice thing to have. The last positive before we move on to the negatives is that it's really small. It can fit into quite a lot of convenient places. Unfortunately, it's not water resistant, so if you want it to watch outside, you'll need to place it through a window or something like that, or just have a covering over it. You could always put it on your windowsill or something like that. But let's say you put it on your windowsill when it was something big and chunky, it may be very annoying and quite disgusting to look at, and your neighbors might look at you funny. But if it's a small discreet box like this, people won't think anything of it. People might even think it's a clock or something like that. So it is quite discreet and you can't really see it if it's there. As long as you don't go right up to it, you wouldn't even realize it's a camera for a little bit. And now it's time for the negatives of this device, problems and things that I just don't like about this specific camera. First thing I don't like about this camera is the live feed is quite laggy, especially when someone's moving around or something's moving, like a bird's flying past or something like that. It is really laggy, really choppy, and sometimes I even experience occasions where it just loses connection, even though it's still connected to the camera, battery's 100%, and there's no visible problems. It still disconnects. Obviously it does come back after I refresh the app, but it's just annoying when I just want to have a quick look, see if everything's okay, and I just can't see anything. It's just really annoying, and it's not doing its one and only job. But once it comes to actually downloading and installing the files, it's actually not as laggy, so it's not as bad, but still it is quite annoying when something says it's meant to do something and it just doesn't do it. But now let's move on to the next negative. The audio is bad. Audio sounds really echoey when we're not in a room. It makes this loud squeaking noise. At first I thought it was a moving alarm or something like that, but no, it's just a bad audio quality. It doesn't have two-way audio. This is an added bonus. You can pay for an attachment that allows you to do this, but it's not inbuilt in the system. But just listening, it just sounds really bad, and I have to turn it on and off again so it doesn't sound as bad, but it's again inconvenient to me. Again, it's not easy to sort out. It should be a simple process, but most people don't even use audio on their security feeds anyway. People just use it to watch primarily. But if you're the type of person that actually needs audio, you may have to look at alternative products. Next negative is something that I did off camera. Of course, it worked perfectly fine now, but off camera it took me over 45 minutes to figure out how to turn this thing on and how to connect it to my phone. I think I've gotten used to Apple's easy connections now, but this was so tedious to connect, to turn on. The whole process was prolonged by the fact that the instructions weren't clear and precise, didn't tell me what to do properly. I was playing around with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for the last 20 minutes, and then for it to actually turn on, it was just a really tedious process. But now I've got it to work, and I needed to watch quite a few YouTube videos for just to figure out how it turns on and how to actually get audio and all of that. After that, it did start working, but I've gotten so used to products that work straight out of the box and I don't need to fiddle with settings that it really got my nerves when I had to set this up. But nevertheless, it's time for the final negative now before we move on to the conclusion. The final negative is the battery life. I spoke about the battery life at the beginning of the review. 4 hours of actual video recording and 2 hours of charge time. There is a loophole around this. You can just keep it on charge, I guess. But the battery life overall is just appalling. Usually miniature cameras have about 48 hours of battery life, and this has not even half of that, which is shameful considering the £65 price range. But since it's so small, you can put a charger in. Like, let's say you're gone for a holiday, you can put it in a actual plug socket and just charge it consistently, and it can still record. But let's say the plug socket's not close to where you are, you'll have to use a portable charger or something like that, but that can only last so long. So we just go back to the fact that the battery life's just not good enough. But nevertheless, it's time for the conclusion. In conclusion, I would recommend this product, but not for anyone that wants to use this for a prolonged period of time, because it will cause you problems. It will die on you, but it does have some valuable features. It does have its rugged build and decent camera quality, which is pretty cool for you spies out there. But nevertheless, it is a good product, but just make sure you don't use it for a prolonged period of time. Nevertheless, it's your boy Mr. K. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions, just comment down below. And also, if you guys could get me to the goal of 650 subscribers before the end of the year, I'll be really appreciative of that. Nevertheless, it's been your boy Mr. K. Thanks for watching, and yeah, bye.